Under circumstances where your loved one passed away days or weeks after this unfortunate tragic accident, there are really two types of claims that exist in Pennsylvania. One is called wrongful death. The other is called the survival action. Both of those actions compensate for different things to different people. The Wrongful Death Act compensates the relatives for the loss of their family member. Also compensates for the medical expenses that are accrued because of it. And then there's a grieving loss component, the loss to the family for actually the grieving loss for the loss of their loved one. The Survival Act recovers for the pain and suffering that the person had until they actually died. That's an action that accrues to the estate. Those damages go to the estate that's created, and then they pass through the estate to the heirs of the estate. The loss of earnings that this person would have earned in the future, that goes to the survival action part of the case. That actually passes through the estate. So oftentimes there are two major components of recovery, one on the wrongful death side, one on the survival side. Now the wrongful death recovery itself is not subject to inheritance tax. So there is a tax dealing with the wrongful death component of the recovery. There is, however, an inheritance tax on the survival recovery because those types of damages pass through the estate and go through the estate to the heirs. So it's a little bit complex as to how all the losses are covered. Obviously, where a death occurs sometime after the event, we just need to establish that the death was as a result of the event. That's usually not too much of an issue. People can live for a long time struggling to live after an incident, which only increases the value of the case from a pain and suffering standpoint. Some people die immediately where there is no pain and suffering. However, we've had cases where there's an immediate death or apparent immediate death, and we're able to establish that before the person died, they suffered the damages of fright, of the impending loss to their life, which is a tremendous damage. And oftentimes we engage pathologists to prove that the death wasn't so immediate, that there was a period of time between the incident and the death whereby the person did know that they were dying or going to die. So it's a bit involved, intricate, but really when you break it down, it's common sense. And as I said, we use experts in order to help advance that part of the case as well. If you believe you have a wrongful death case, give our office a call. We'll be happy to help.